welcome to gamblingsites.org's guide to betting on the 2019 Kentucky Derby. I'm Drew Goldfarb. Whether it's the atmosphere, the pageantry, or the race itself, the Kentucky Derby is always worth circling on your calendar. But you don't have to wait until race day to begin wagering on the fastest 2 minutes in sports. And with this guide, we'll break down your best bets for where to place your own ahead of the Derby, the types of bets that you can make, and what to look for in a betting site. First things first, our criteria for where to place your bet. Not everyone gets to head out to Churchill Downs to bet on the race in person, so when looking for a betting site, these are the 6 things we're keeping an eye on. Betting variety, device compatibility, fair withdrawal and deposit guidelines, plentiful bonuses for bettors, different funding options, and top-notch customer service. You're going to want to make sure that any betting site you use for one event is good for another, so that you aren't using one site for horse racing and another for your sports book. You also want to make sure you can access the website from anywhere, meaning it must be compatible with an iPhone, Android, or tablet. The next 3 are all about the money. A good betting site needs to be fair with how you put your money in and how you take your winnings out. You want to make sure that you're rewarded for betting, and you want to ensure that you're going to have options with how to fund your bankroll. And finally, customer service. Always important in any field, customer service is especially important when it comes to placing bets, because that's in the event that problems or questions might pop up, you have an easy access to an answer or a resolution. With that said, we have 6 sites we recommend for betting on the 2019 Kentucky Derby. In the United States, we suggest Bovada, mybookie.ag, and sportsbetting.ag. Outside of the US, we'd go with Betway, 888 Sport, and 10Bet. When it comes to horse betting, there are 3 common straight bets that you can make: win, place, and show. If you're betting on a horse to win, that horse must win the race for you to get paid. Simple enough. If you bet on a horse to place, then your horse just has to finish somewhere inside the top 2. And if you bet on a horse to show, your horse only needs to finish in first, second, or third for you to get paid. For place and show bets, you get paid the same regardless of where the horse finishes within that range, so there's no bigger payout for a first place horse with a place or show bet. You can also go with an across the board bet and bet that same horse for win, place, and show on the same ticket. That means 3 payouts for a winning horse, 2 payouts for a second place finish, and 1 for a third place finish. Generally, this would be used to hedge a bet on a long shot, where even just a show payout would be enough to recoup your 3 wagers. If you're looking for something a little more exotic for your wager, then there are plenty of options to consider when it comes to horse racing. There's the exacta bet, which is where you'd have to pick both the first and second place horses in order to get a payout. If you want to go one beyond that, a trifecta or triple bet means you'd have to pick all 3 horses finishing in first, second, and third place. If you want to try and pick the entire top 4, you go with what's called the superfecta wager. Payout for these bets are obviously going to get bigger and bigger the more horses you have to pick, but that's also because of just how difficult those wagers can be to win. If you're placing your bet well in advance of the race, you can place what's referred to as futures bets. Futures bets have a few advantages, mainly that the odds are likely to be significantly better for you. And unlike race day betting, those odds don't change. Horse racing betting that isn't futures betting is generally based on what's called a parimutuel wagering system. This type of system doesn't set the final odds until all of the bets are made, and the payouts are made based on how much money is in each pool for each particular wager, as well as how much was wagered on the paying horse or horses. The downside, of course, is that you'll be placing the bet with less information. In the Kentucky Derby, the horse that you place a futures bet on in April might not even end up racing in the Derby in May if there's an injury or if the horse's handlers just decide to hold him out of the race. And if that happens, you've already lost your bet before the race even begins. If you're looking for even more horse racing betting tips, make sure to check out gamblingsites.org for some amazing articles by Jim Baviglia, including an even more detailed preview of the field for the 2019 Kentucky Derby. So who are you betting on to win the first leg of the Triple Crown? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and keep checking out gamblingsites.org for more picks, tips, and of course, how-to guides. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Drew Goldfarb. I'll see you next time.